I'll sing you the story of a duck whose name is Alfred Kwak. Yes, Alfred Jonathan Kwak. He comes from a lovely little town, a lovely town in Waterland, where life is grand. Dipping, bobbing, diving, Alfred's always striving, he seldom wears a frown. You'll never keep a duck down. Dipping, bobbing, diving, Alfred's always striving, he seldom wears a frown. You'll never keep a good duck down. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Dipping, bobbing, diving, Alfred's always striving, he seldom wears a frown. Dipping, bobbing, diving, Alfred's always striving, you'll never keep a good duck down.
Is this the first time that you have been to Alfred Jonathan Quack's house?
Sir.
Turn left at the top there.
Sir.
Please, can I have a word, Alfred?
But of course.
Mind if I come in?
Not at all.
Whenever I come, I'm never the bearer of good news, eh, Alfred?
I'm afraid not. But please have a seat, will you?
Thank you.
I'll get you some tea.
No, don't worry, Alfred. I won't be staying long, thanks.
Well, what can I do for you? Is it some problem that's to do with the king?
Yes, Alfred, it's a very serious problem.
Financial problem?
No, it isn't that.
Well, is he sick?
No, he's in perfect health.
Oh, good.
Why would you expect me to come over here to see you if the king was sick?
Suppose you're right. Well, what is the problem then, Judge?
It's really serious.
I know that. You've already said that to me.
Well, Alfred, His Majesty is seeking your advice.
Advice?
To be honest, I'm against it. I don't think it's the sort of problem that he should be discussing with commoners.
Commoner, am I?
Oh, are you offended?
No. I am just an ordinary citizen, just one small member of the public, huh? I've no idea what trouble the king has run into. But if it's something that does concern the life of his people, well, what's wrong with discussing it with a commoner,
Precisely, that's exactly what the king thought.
Oh.
That's why he sent me here, to find out if you will meet him.
Where have I got to meet him?
Well, it's sort of off the record when His Majesty meets with ordinary citizens, so it can't be held at the castle.
Where then?
Tomorrow, can you come to the summer palace at the beach?
Oh, certainly. Before I go, can you give me any idea what this problem is all about?
The king has told me to keep my mouth shut. You have to hear it from him at first hand.
Oh. Did you have a guest?
Judge Ruper's been here.
I hope he didn't ask for another loan.
Don't know.
Your Majesty, if you have any questions on the report for next year's fiscal budget, please feel free to ask.
No, I've no questions.
Thank you, Your Majesty. That is what we recommend as the best proposition for the present time.
I support it. Has Judge Rupee returned yet?
I'll go and look, sire.
Well, Your Majesty, we'd like to adjourn the meeting for today, if that's all there is.
Yes, and thanks for coming over. Ah. Good day, Minister. Oh, dear. Oh, I've got a stiff shoulder. Majesty?
And is Alfred coming?
Yes, sir.
Terrific.
Majesty,
Yes?
would you like to reconsider the whole thing?
My meeting with Alfred.
There's nothing wrong with meeting him, but should you discuss the problem?
I want to discuss it.
Once you bring up the subject in front of an ordinary citizen like Alfred, it'll be difficult to retract later on, I'm afraid.
But, Rupee, I shan't want to retract later on.
It took me a lot of hard thinking to reach my decision.
Perhaps the king has fallen in love.
In love?
Didn't His Majesty go abroad last month?
Yes, he went to 2 or 3 different countries. But whatever's that got to do with it?
Quite a lot. In one of the places, he went into the city at night without any of his bodyguards, and there was a little florist shop on the street corner. Just picture it. The king wanted some roses, and he went into the shop, and what he saw there was a beautiful young girl surrounded by roses. And the king fell in love with her right on the spot. The girl picked a single rose and pinned it on the king's robe. A light of love lit up in his heart. He was in such a state of shock that he couldn't even remember how he got back home that night. And he can't help thinking about that girl and the rose ever since he came home.
But Winnie, how can you possibly know that?
I want to see her again and marry her, he says.
Marry her?
I know it could be difficult for me to marry a commoner, but I really love her, and I want her to be my queen. I wonder if there is anybody I can consult with.
That's why they sent for Alfred.
Well, that's the best I can come up with. Do you have a better one?
No, I'm afraid I haven't.
I'd be happy if it was something that romantic.
What if this story should be true, Alfred?
Well, if he should ask me, I'll willingly go and see the pretty girl in the flower shop. Hello? Hello? Whoa.
Alfred, I don't think there's any need for you to go and see her.
Why ever not, Winnie?
Forget it. You just listen to what the king has to say and advise him.
Well, I don't much really care.
You don't, huh?
Come now, Winnie. It's raining.
Yes.
What a day.
The storm's really violent.
Don't worry, this house is built to stand it.
It's a gale force wind.
We're expecting a hurricane.
Goodness, is it as bad as that? I do hope there won't be any floods.
In this country, there is nothing we can do to stop them.
No, that isn't true.
Huh?
We only have to build breakwaters high enough to stop the sea from coming in and canals to drain off flood water.
I suppose you're right. By the way, His Majesty wants you to dine with him.
Yes?
You can just relax till then.
Right. Just Rupee, if the king doesn't bring up his problem right away, what things should we talk about?
Well, everyday conversation. His Majesty is extremely interested in your recent adventures. Why not tell him your stories?
Well, we could have noticed quite a bit earlier that the fire from the crater wasn't hot at all. It was only when the fire hit my body that I realised it wasn't fire or flame because it wasn't hot. It was something we had never experienced in our lives.
Yes, but we all take it for granted that fire is hot, don't we? Because that's a normal reaction to flame.
Uh-huh.
I do envy you, Alfred. You have traveled without ever having any trouble, from the farthest corners of space to the bottom of the sea.
But I don't have such an important job as you have.
Not so important.
Shall I tell them to serve coffee in the drawing room?
Sure, let's adjourn. Oh, I've one or two things I'd like to discuss with you.
Mm-hmm.